Hello and welcome to the first of the revised series on how to reload new and fired brass. This video is going to go over the first two steps to do with your fired brass. Decapping or depriming, whatever you want to call it, and then tumble cleaning. I will show you the methods and the tools I use, plus some helpful tips. If you found this video helpful, please click the like and subscribe buttons below. If you want to become a member or get a Hit the X t-shirt, download the files for this course, which you're going to need to do, or donate to help me help you out. Click the memberships buy link below the video. Thank you for watching and hope to see you all subscribe and follow along in this learning experience. Okay, so here we are at lesson 1, decapping and cleaning your brass. So let's start with the equipment. This is my Short Action Customs Nexus press. This is probably the fourth or fifth press I've ever owned. The one before this was the Forster Coax press, which at the time, to me, was great. It did everything I wanted it to do, but it could not have the consistency and headspace that this has because of the design. Now, I have videos on all this equipment, so watch the video about the Short Action Customs Nexus press and you'll get more info. Now, the die I use for decapping is this Mighty Armory Down and Dirty decapping die. And the reason it is so great, it has this ingenious, you take this cap off, and it has this spring inside. They call it the flicker spring. When you decap, the problem I used to have in many reloaders all the time is you would decap and then you would pull up and you couldn't get your shell out because the primer was not pushed out all the way. Well, this flicks it and it comes out all the way. So I have, I think it's 93 pieces of 6BR brass, Lapua brass, which is what I'll be using throughout this entire series. But it doesn't have to be 6BR. This covers any kind of rifled bottleneck cartridge. Also covers pistols, but the sizing steps and that'll be different, but it's all the same thing. And this is the latest thing I just added to this Short Action press. Instead of having buckets on the right and the left and going from one to the other, they came out with this bin system, which I used to have on the Coax press. They came out with it for this Short Action Customs Nexus press. So you're going to see my arm come in here every once in a while because I can't do nothing about that. I can't make my arm invisible. So listen for this sound now. Hear that little pop? That was the primer coming out, and I forgot to put my thing in there. I just use an old 1 pound container, and that just goes right underneath the primer drop tube. And then I'll put it in there. So listen again. You hear that? That pops it straight down. So now with these bins out front, let me try not to get in the way. We can really get on a roll here. And that is as simple as it is. Now, I'm not gonna show me doing all 93 of these, but that's it. So I'm gonna get these finished, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I tumble with rice now. For years I was tumbling, wet tumbling, with water, steel pins, and Frankfurt Arsenal brass cleaner. And it did a great job, but it nicked up the necks a little bit, you know, and I don't like that. So that's one of the things amongst the many things that are going to be changed in this series. So hang on now and we'll get to cleaning this stuff. All right, now to cleaning our brass. I've got our 93 pieces here. Now, I have two videos on rice tumbling. The first one and the second one was an update as I learned some things. But I'm going to show you the basics here. So what I first do is I fill my tumbler up, I don't know, about halfway. Now this you have to be very careful with. I can say one thing, using wet tumbling was a little neater, but no, I can't even say that because you get water all over the place. It's just so happened that I did it right by the drain in my basement. So there, so I fill it up about halfway and try not to spill anything. Then I put my brass in. And there she goes. Now, I'll fill it up about 3/4 of the way. I used to fill it up almost all the way, and then I realized I gotta leave some room in there for that brass to be agitating around in all the rice. Otherwise it's gonna be like probably stuck in one place, you know, along the middle. A little more. That's good. Holy crap, I didn't even spill a piece of rice. Must be getting better. Then, I just take it. How did I put that on there wrong? That would have been rice everywhere. I like to keep my little mistakes in here because I want everybody to see. This doesn't normally go up top here, so I'm going to switch this back around to the bottom. So the reason I do this down below is because I do it for an hour, and that's about the perfect time for me to clean my rifle up above. So I just take it, set it on here, turn it on for an hour, and just let it roll. I hope that's not too noisy in the background and you can hear what I'm saying. You should be able to. We should be all right. And that's that. Then we'll come back and I'll show you how I separate the rice with this contraption. Now we are done tumbling. So I'm going to show you how I did this, and this, their media separator, Frankfurt Arsenal media separator, this is great. This worked great for wet tumbling. But the problem for me now with using rice is this is just not deep enough. When I pour it into here, it fills up with rice to about here and you can't tumble it. So I had to improvise. So I took a couple of 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot. I cut a notch in the top here. And bada bing. It's not the most elegant solution, but it works. I'm sure I'm going to make something better eventually. So now, we just take our rice And the reason I'm doing this on the floor is because I don't trust myself yet. This is only like the third time I've done this. And we just pour it in here. Now you see, I've got plenty of room for the rice to go now. Okay, it looks like one grain got out over there, but that's not bad. So on this, you have to clamp it closed now. Then for a cover, I just made another bucket. I just hold it over the top, and away I go. Now you can see a couple are coming out in the side here, so I'm going to have to make a better knot. But it does work. I think if I do a better job with cutting the slots in it, it'll be fine. As you see, it doesn't rotate that smoothly. If this bucket was a couple inches bigger, it would, but it's like hitting the sides of the bucket, but come on. Alright, that's all it takes. So now we've got our rice out. Now, I used rice. I'm just going to take our bucket in here. Now I've got a top here, two tops for this. One's got a slot in it and one's just a blank top. So what I do is just pour it out one of these notches back into here. Now, the one thing that does become a problem, which I'm going to try and I'll let you know if it works, is there's like static cling on the rice to the side of the bucket. But I don't really care. I'll just leave that rice in there because it's all going to get back in there eventually. So I got 30 or 40 grains in there. Who cares? So now I'll take my sealed top, and let me tell you this, you definitely want a sealed top because insects or something will get in here. A guy who watches this channel, a viewer, he told me about that, and sure as hell, the first time I poured this back in, there was a spider crawling around up top. So make sure you seal this good before you put it away. So now we have clean brass. Granted, it's not as shiny as using the wet tumbling method with pins, but I don't care if my brass is shiny. It's not going to make it shoot any better. So there we are. Now we're done with the first video of this revised reloading series, new and fired brass. Thank you very much for joining me, and there's a message at the end, don't forget. Thank you.